Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Robb Moffat. Today we're going to be doing another comedy review. This week it's going to be Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. 1959, directed by Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick. Great director. Got a great cast. It was nominated for 4 categories. Lost out to My Fair Lady and Mary Poppins. Peter Sellers was probably the most notable person in the movie. He played 3 different characters. He was going to play 4, but he broke his ankle and couldn't complete the 4th person. He was going to do Major Kong. Fortunately, he did break his ankle because they were able to get Slim Pickens, who I think did an incredible Major Kong. The movie is a satire. It's a black comedy about a very difficult subject. Nuclear Armageddon. The end of the world. It was initially going to be a drama about nuclear warfare and the military-industrial complex and political commentary, and the director realized how absurd the idea of nuclear war was and just made it into a dark, very dark black comedy. Does it still stand up? Unfortunately, it does stand up, but what doesn't stand up is the fact that we haven't progressed. Now we're in like possible 5 different conflicts that could be a nuclear situation. We've got North Korea. We've got the U.S. trying to contain China. We've got the U.S. committed to defending Taiwan. We've got the Iranians and the Israelis. And then we've got, for some strange reason, the Russians and the Ukrainians. And we have a State Department full of apparently dual passport weasels who don't seem to have any problem with poking Russia, that lost 20 million people in the Second World War with conventional weapons. After watching the movie, I'm not as happy as I thought I was going to be. I became more somber, and I became somber, not more somber. It wasn't, it just brought into close up how we haven't really changed. In fact, we've gotten worse, in my opinion. I think we have less smart people than we did before. We're even more stupid. And the movie is a comedy of errors where it leads to nuclear Armageddon. And I don't see where we're any farther away from that happening. If not, I think we're closer. So, no, I'm not happier. It didn't make me happy. This movie, this comedy did not make me happy. Not because it wasn't funny, but because of the situation we're in. But let's talk about the comedy part. The comedy part, it's very well done. It's seamless. The scenes, they just like silk, smooth. It just one to another. It just once you get into the story, you just like a river. You're in a leaf. You're going down. You're just going right along with the story. The characters are wonderful. Peter Sellers got to play 3 different characters. President Merkin Muffley, Group Captain Lionel, what was his last name? Mandrake, Lionel Mandrake, and Dr. Strangelove, who he does a wonderful accent. It's when Dr. Strangelove comes on to the movie, it just, his character was the best. But there were so many other good characters. Slim Pickens, who they said was told not to, they told him not, they didn't tell him he was in a comedy, apparently. That's what they said. But they said they want him to act straight serious. But if that was him acting serious, imagine how funny he would have been if they had let him be funny, because he was hilarious, acting straight. You had James Earl Jones in a minor role, but he was wonderful to see. Keenan Wynn George C. Scott, who ate up every part of the scene he was in. You had John Bull, the ambassador from Russia. I know I'm forgetting somebody. It's just, they're wonderful, wonderful characters, and the comedy was excellent. I think. No fighting in the war room still makes me laugh. There's just a sadness that this was 1959, and even after communism fell and the Soviet Union and Russia were still having the possibility of having a nuclear war with Russia. For why? Like, every night when I go to bed, I say a prayer and I ask God to end all the wars, and then I ask God to stop all the people that want all the wars. I think if we could send everybody that wants war to the front lines with their families, these things would stop overnight. It's just, it wasn't, when the movie was over, I wasn't happy because I kept thinking about this. But I almost forgot my favorite character in the whole movie, Sterling Hayden. Sterling became prominent in the early 1940s and on to the 50s, and he was one of my favorite actors. He wrote a wonderful autobiography, one of my favorite autobiographies, called Wanderer, and told about his life growing up and how he got into the movie business. He was a fisherman on a fishing schooner, and somebody saw him climbing from one part of the boat to the other, up in the mast, from one mast to another, and he was very strong young man, handsome, and they put him in the movies, and he did very well. But Wanderer is a great book. Also, he wrote a sea novel. Sterling Hayden wrote Voyage. Salt water drips off every page. He was a great writer. One of my favorite characters in the movie was definitely Sterling Hayden, Jack D. Ripper. That was another thing about the movie. They have such wonderful names for the characters. Keenan Wynn's character was Major Bat Guano, the Burpelson Air Force Base. There was so many wonderful play on words. It was fun. But nothing wrong with the movie. It's sometimes you have movies and times have changed, people have changed, and they don't see the movie in the same way. The thing about this movie is we haven't changed. If anything, things have gotten worse. So it was hard to be as amused and happy with the movie as I would have hoped. There was only one woman in the movie, Tracy Reed. She has a wonderful scene. She did a great job. Everybody did a great job. There weren't any bad scenes. Yeah, I would recommend it, but I wasn't happy when I was finished, but it wasn't the fault of the movie. It's just, I'm so tired of my country always getting involved in a war somewhere with somebody over something. I'm in my 70s, and my whole life we've been at war with somebody somewhere over something. And it starts to make me wonder. When I was younger, I had a girlfriend that was kind of an alcoholic. She liked to drink a lot. And when we would go to a bar, she'd always get in fights with people, and I'm her boyfriend. I have to take care of it. And after a while, you get tired of the drama. And I think I'm just tired of the drama. I want a country that has a government that isn't always wanting to have a war over something with somebody. and like it's just got to end. It's time for a new girlfriend. So guys, this was not going to be a popular video, I can tell. But I recommend you watch the movie. And